Marlin the Magician by Courtney White and Troy Pally. Marlin was the greatest quarterback of all time. He was so good that all of his friends called him Marlin the Magician because when he threw the ball, it seemed to fly through the air so far and so fast it was almost like magic. Quarterbacks are the most important player on the field. They are responsible for calling the plays and getting information from the coach to the rest of the team during the game. This year, Marlin's team had a new coach, Coach P. Coach P was excited because he had heard stories of Marlin the Magician and he had created new plays to show off Marlin's skills. He knew that with these new plays, the team could win the Super Bowl at the end of the season.
Yo, Marlin, pass the ball. I got you.
Assistant coach calls out.
Okay, everybody, huddle up.
Coach P introduces himself, saying,
Hi, everybody. I'm your new coach. You can call me Coach Pete. I'm really excited about this season. I've written up a bunch of new plays that I think will take us all the way to the Super Bowl this year.
Coach P continues.
Okay, everyone, this one right here is my best play. Guarantees you a touchdown every single time.
Coach P draws the play out on his clipboard for all the players to see. It's called,
I am going home. You got that, Marlin? You'll be calling the plays. Let's get out there and try it out. Everyone to your positions. Okay, Marlin, remember, I am going home. Call it. I'ma go to the crib.
Coach P blows a whistle on the play.
Hold up, Marlin, let's try that again. Marlin, go ahead. Call it. I'ma go to the crib.
Coach P blows another whistle on the play. Confused, Marlin looks to Coach P. Coach P calls Marlin to the sidelines for a chat about the new play.
Yo, Coach, what up with the play? Thought we's good. Marlin, I can't understand what you're calling out there. If I can't understand it, how will the team? Repeat after me. I'm going home.
Annoyed,
I'm going home.
back on the field, Coach signals to Marlin to call the play.
I'ma go to the crib.
Coach P blows another whistle on the play. Frustrated, Coach P yells to Marlin to come to the sideline.
Marlin, we just had this talk. If you can't pronounce the play properly, I'm going to have to put in the backup QB. Man, I doesn't what to tell you. I'm not going to change the way I speak to call your plays.
Angry, Coach P ends practice and calls a coaches meeting.
I don't know what to do with Marlin out there. He refuses to pronounce my plays correctly. I might just have to let him sit out until he learns. Coach P, I know you're new here, but that's just how the people around here speak. It's how they grew up. It's the culture. Yeah, Coach, it's called Ebonics. It's a language, and it's what most of his team knows. Those kids out there respect how you speak, so you're finna gots to learn to do the same.
Coach P had never heard of Ebonics before. That night, he went home and researched Ebonics. He learned that it's an African American language that is often misinterpreted as slang. Coach P realized that he misinterpreted Marlin's use of Ebonics and he needed to change his way of thinking if him and Marlin were going to work together to win the Super Bowl. The next day, before practice, Coach P pulled Marlin to the side.
Hey, Marlin. I know we got off to a rocky start, but I just want to apologize. I realize that you don't need to change the way you speak. I need to change the way I think about languages. I can learn just as much from my players as you guys can learn from me. Coach, I appreciate that. Thank you. You ready to get this play going right today?
Then the day came, the Super Bowl. Marlin and his team had been working hard with Coach P to prepare for this moment. As the game was winding down, with one last chance to score and win the game, Marlin and Coach P knew exactly what play to call. The players lined up on the field as Coach P gives Marlin the signal. Confidently, Marlin yells,
I'ma go to the crib.
They snap the ball. Marlin looks left, looks right, then throws the ball so far it can only be described as magical. The ball lands perfectly in his receiver's hands. Touchdown! The whole team celebrates. happy that their hard work paid off. Through cooperation from the coaches and players, the team wins their first Super Bowl, the ultimate prize. Marlin stares up at the fireworks in disbelief. Coach P walks off the field with a giant trophy in his hands as he whispers to himself,
I'ma go to the crib.
This book was based on Marlin Briscoe, the first African American to play quarterback in the NFL. He played for 9 seasons and set several records while playing for 6 different teams over his career. Briscoe is known for fighting against prejudice and blazing the trail for other African American football players. After retirement, Marlin Briscoe spent his time giving back to his community and started a football camp of his own.
Okay, so for discussing the book, the first question where it talks about what choices we made when constructing the book and why we made them. Um, we wanted to center this entire book around Marlin just because we wanted to show like his hidden history, um, and we thought it would be a really good children's book to talk about him when he was growing up. And then we also consciously decided to make this power dynamic of the adults learning from kids, just because I think all teachers can really learn from that. Like, um, it's really easy for teachers to learn from kids, and we don't need to assume we know everything. Um, for the next question, where it says, what issues and concerns did we take into consideration? We wanted to be respectful when we were writing this book. We don't speak Ebonics ourselves, so we really wanted to research the language and use the rules of Ebonics when the coach and the players were talking to each other. Um, what issues and what new insights did you learn during the creation process? We learned that it's really not that difficult to incorporate Ebonics into your classroom. We talked about it in our papers, but you just have to understand that Ebonics is not like a sign of like not being intelligent. It's not slang, but it's an actual language, and you can incorporate it into your classroom. And some of the strategies we mentioned in the paper with like dual text and dual writing, allowing them to use their home language in the classroom, incorporating like rap music, which is kind of music that a lot of our students are going to like. So we can play that in the classroom and a bunch of other ways. So basically, what we learned is that it's not that difficult to incorporate Ebonics into our classroom. What surprised us when we were making this book is we were trying to find like some translators for Ebonics so we could like write the book in a more respectful way, and we found some really like disturbing and like pretty mean Ebonics translators full of curse words on the internet, and there wasn't any actual formal Ebonic translators, so we hope to see one of those in the future. And then what we found challenging if we did it all, again, was just to make sure we were being respectful throughout the book. We know that Ebonics is like it's a language with its own rules and like patterns and stuff. So we just wanted to make sure that we were using those patterns and not just throwing like slang words in there and calling it Ebonics. We wanted it to be true Ebonics. So that's basically it. Thank you for listening to our read aloud and have a great day.
Bye!